Good morning. My name is Luis Estrella, and today we're going to talk about how to choose wisely or not, and that's called cognitive bias. A cognitive study regarding knowledge and ability to know how to correct erroneous behaviors. First, the concept. Cognitive relates to conscious intellectual activity, the way we think. What that means that everything we do in our life, we think if it's good or it's not good. So that interpretation of those thoughts gives you an idea how you will react. Like when you're going to take a test, should you study or not? If you don't study, you fail. If you study, you probably will pass. Use a deviation of judgment. What that means, a deviation? That means that we will be able to choose, and if we do an erroneous decision, sometimes we think it's the right decision. So that's what the cognitive bias is all about. Let's talk about money matters. In a high school situation, you might get, you're 16 or older, you can get a part-time job, you can get a permit to drive a car, and then the way you make your decision. And what are you going to do with that money? When we are teenagers, as soon as we get money, somehow we spend it all. We just can't wait to get that payday for the part-time job or whatever, and then we spend it. But what should be? An educational stage, depending what grade you're in, you're a freshman, you driver's license, your permit, sophomore, you may continue your part-time jobs. If your grades are not affected, remember, you have to continue with your education. Senior, time to think about the future and continue to work. And the best part of the future is that you should go to college. You should all go to college because that's the way they will make more money. If you look at statistics, more education you have, the probability is that you will make more money, especially if you choose careers like engineering, architecture, mine, petroleum, anything like that will guarantee you a good income. The prospect theory, loss aversion, and framing. The loss aversion means how do we feel when we lose something? And how losing that, it makes a more powerful statement than gaining, even if it's the same thing. As you see, when you lose, no matter what it is, you cry. If you remember when you were little or you saw a little kid, when they drop the ice cream, they'll cry like somebody has committed murder. It's just the nature. Even if you give them another ice cream, they still because they still remember what they lose, even if they got the same thing. So it's the same thing, and no matter how old you are, you can lose $100, and even if you recover, you will always lose what you have lost. So when you think about it, you have to be very, very careful how you're going to interpret that losing. What steps can you take to avoid losing money without a reason? Framing refers how you're going to resolve that issue. Framing like a picture, how I'm going to recover. So let's say you lose $150 for whatever reason, and now you're working part-time and you're going to school. What are you going to do to recover that money? Maybe you decide to work more hours and put your studies aside so you can recover that money, and even if you recover, you're going to still feel that loss because you're going to say, now I have $150 or $100 and I could have $200. So remember that. So do not sacrifice your future just because you want to recover something real quick. Prospect theory. Prospect theory states that we like to keep what we like or need. Whatever we get, we like to keep it, no matter what it is. Even when we're little, whenever we get toys, we just keep it. We're herders. We like to keep all our toys. You know, if you look in your closet, you probably have toys since you can remember. Your first teddy bear, your first car, your whatever. We like to herd. Our needs. The needs depends on how we see what we need. We need a basketball, we need a pair of tennis shoes, we need whatever. You decide based on your cognitive things, what do you need? All right, so remember. And then there's one thing in high school. Sometimes we buy stuff we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. In high school, you guys do a lot because you see somebody who's wearing expensive sneakers and you have to have something more expensive or the same because of that principle. Endowment. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a quality or ability possessed inherited by someone. It belongs to me. Either I inherited or I bought it. We have the tendency of ownership to all things. So when you decide to buy a pair of shoes, let's say there are sneakers, and I look at the Jordan sneakers, they go from $250 to $800, and you want to have them. You might not need them because there are sneakers who do exactly the same function, but you want to have the little market Jordan in your shoes, and you go, I have to have it, I will spend the money, and they are mine. That frame of thought, mine. The And that would be the status quo, because you have to have that status that I owe the thing. The first thing you have to create good habits. Think about what is good for you and your future. Know what the neighbor thinks, know what your friends think, know what your parents probably give you good advice, but you need to think a good frame of thought. You own it. Whatever you do, it's yours. It's your responsibility. You make the decisions, you're responsible. The fear of loss. You buy sneakers for $800. Imagine if you would lose them. So you would create a train of thought to keep it forever if that is possible. My experience, mine was buying cars. I was in the military. I went in the military right after high school, so to me having a car was very important because we didn't have cars back then, and that was a luxury or a necessity. And then I made a decision to buy a car with the little money I had. The problem was that the old car broke down and I spent a lot of money fixing it and doing maintenance on it. If I would have thought better, if I would have recognized my cognitive issues, I would have saved more money, I would have learned how to do the maintenance on the car, and then I would have bought a car. So that is my cognitive failure on how to do it. So the principle of everything is how you frame your future. The decisions you take are based upon what do you want right now, in this moment, and what would you like in the future. Those issues or those items are based on your cognitive bias. If you get something and you know it's going to hurt to lose it, you're going to keep it. You're going to keep it, you're going to take care of it, and then therefore you will know how to do it. If you lose it and it hurts a lot, it's going to cost you a lot. Mainly in your cognitive, in your mind, you don't want to lose that. So plan your life accordingly. For college, remember, as I told you, college will give you money. It is 99.9% that if you go to college and get a good career, you will make money. If you decide just go after high school and make money, yes, you will make more money than your friends in college, but in the long run, your friends from college will make more money than you do, and you might end up working for them. So remember, it's up to you to have a plan, to watch for your money, and take care of yourself. Thank you.